Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Company Heroes 2 replay. Spawn north top right side as blue OKW player got cblanco. Spawn bottom left side as the red USF, we got W. Both players now selected the doctrine. We do have the Airborne Company versus the Breakthrough Doctrine. Going straight for Pathfinders, not going for any additional reaction squad nor riflemen. Gulvagen depends if Fusiliers now being employed on the field. Catch some sectors, of course, in this center. Looks like the Shun Pioneers are going for over here next. And reaction squad is also going to the center as well. Try and get some of these tank traps up and going to get some heavy cover. Second Pathfinder squad now out on the field. Sorry about that. Snot's just starting to drip down my throat. More tank traps have been established. We do have the Pathfinder squad heading up north. Pathfinders could find one of these squads. If the Pathfinder boy finds one of the squad, the other squad also should charge after them. Pathfinder's eyeing for a bit heavy cover there. Stone Pioneers behind some light cover. Hence Fusiliers can probably just push forward, try to flank Pathfinders. The Shun Pioneers probably could be fine, just stick behind the light cover there. Reaction squad also push straight forward, and now the Panzerfusiliers are behind heavy cover. Sorry, my voice is still choked up. Does pick off one of the models of Shun Pioneers. Reaction squad behind heavy cover, but we also got the Kuvagen. Not getting a flank shots, pretty sure that's not flanking. Though the reaction squad is falling back in open ground. What is that sound? I think that Kuvagen was in water, technically. Pathfinder and rear squad do fall back a little bit. The other Pathfinder squads here, we've got triple Pathfinders. Full Pathfinder spam. Kuvagen does take a bit of damage there. One of the Pathfinders do drop two models now. Panzerfusiliers catching up these other sectors. Having go around catch sectors would be nice, and the Kuvagen does go down, gets overran by all the units. Shun Pioneers they push way forward. Panzerfusiliers just stick there as long as they can. Got a nice flanking shot there. Panzerfusiliers advancing here. No HQ just yet to throw a frag on that blob. Panzerfusiliers fall back. I don't think it's going to go well for the Pathfinders overall. Don't chase that one. Just focus on fighting these guys here, or else we'll lose the fight. He's still trying to go for that one. Not worth it. Just focus on this one here. The Shun Pioneer was left out to dry because the Panzerfusiliers was chasing them. Now now the Pathfinder trying to pursue the Shun Pioneer. One Pathfinder squad does fall back there. And now they're all falling back. Now you can chase the birdie. Pathfinder squad does fall back there. Almost went down there. The Panzerfusiliers need to start to capture the squads there and stop chasing. Reinforcements. And OKW player has enough for SWS half track. Probably should add that sooner rather than later. We got a lieutenant deployed on field. First name Lou, last name Tenet. Laying down some more tank traps. I don't know why the windmill shadow sort of scared me for a moment. I thought it was ragdolls flying around. Panzerfusilier push way forward. Lieutenant advancing as well. Wonder if you get inside the sniper nest, will you actually see that shed or the bush line? Not sure. Part of me says yes, part of me says no. We have the reaction squad going for more tank traps there. Panzerfusiliers in open ground. No half track being employed out just yet. Probably should add that soon. Not to mention for medics, let alone so you can get the upgrades, grenades, and all that sort. The counterweapon on the build queue. He sees the lieutenants expecting either a utility car or a steward. Both are things he has to be concerned of. Pathfinders engaging that Panzer Fusilier. I just cannot speak today. Right now, temperature dropped quite a bit today, so maybe my body's reacting to the temperature drop. Lieutenant's behind some heavy cover. These guys behind some light, or none, I should say. Panzer Fusiliers behind some light cover. Sturm Pioneers should probably stick to light cover there. He's soft retreating away. Sturm Pioneer does start falling back. He does pair drop into 50 cal. I think if the Sturm Pioneers would have stood and fought behind the light cover, he would have been fine enough. Pathfinder's behind some light cover as well. It does get behind some heavy cover, sort of forfeit that region. And now the Panzer Fusilier is falling back. Sturm Officer also pulling in field before getting SWS half track. He could really use the healing, not to mention he can afford some upgrades. And soon he has enough munitions to get G43s on all of his Panzer Fusiliers. Again, warfare there. Sturm Officer advancing. Try and go for a bit of wire there. They'll drop some medical supplies there, that's good. Going for the SW's half track now. Utility car on the build queue. And the Kugelwagen has not been salvaged just yet. Drain its fuel tank of 5 fuels, which is 5 fuels more than it started out with. Drum Officer, gotta be careful. Double Pathfinder here. Of course, they are a little bit camouflaged. Pathfinders need to get, or Panzer Fusiliers need to keep behind some light cover. Another Paradrop AT gun this time. Huh. He Paradropped a 50 cal, right? But I don't see any 50 cal picked up. So we'll check home. Going back there, utility car before, no armor skirts just yet. Intake rifle grenades are available. Yeah, there was a 50 cal there. He simply has not picked it up yet. The cal picked up by the reaction squad. Pathfinders can prevent it allowed to self-spot its maximum range, which is very nice. Panzer Fusiliers wounded. Lieutenant also wounded as well. And Fusilier needs to start falling back. Cannon Warfare has taken a bit of damage. Cannon Warfare rolls a pretty sizable miss there. And without armor skirts, this thing's vulnerable to small arms. Intake rifle grenade now being cashed. Soon Pioneers are suppressed. Does get a good hit there. He is vulnerable to going down. The Cannon Warfare may just need a full retreat at this point. Sturm Officer engaging. Just focus it down with small arms. Having Cannon for hit an initial part would have just saved a bit of pain, but he does secure the kill either way. Goes for a 4th Panzer Fusilier. I think that's a little bit too many Panzer Fusiliers.
Location set. Begin conversion.
I do now have these Pathfinders moving around. Does get a bit of healing there. Does capture up the point. As Fusiliers and Sturm Pioneers are advancing. As Fusiliers here, or Pathfinders here, all veteran 2. Probably about Has a bit of munitions. He has, of course, spent some of it on the weapons. Makes me wonder he's going for bars over soon. Lieutenant here on the flank, not being hit just yet. Panzer is hitting the Pathfinders there. Lieutenant getting some decent damage. The Cal hitting the Shroom Pioneers. May want to see a smoke grenade there from the Shroom Officer or a forced retreat. AoE suppression coming on in. And looks like the MG did get focused down there. Panzer is falling on back. Shroom Pioneer and also Squad just focused on the Lieutenant. Oh, there's forced retreat there. And he did lose with that Panzer Fusilier, the fresh one. Did get wiped out there. We kind of work for capture the point. We got the Shroom Officer push way forward. Panzer Fusilier trying to capture the central VP. And Panzer Fusilier catching up the fuel sector. Paratroopers now para-dropped on in, going for Thompsons.
The capture point is being overrun.
Shroom Officer getting overran, does have Veteran C1 now. Throws out a smoke grenade to help cover its retreat, I'm guessing. Shroom Officer may get fully wiped out here. Model is also falling back. Howdy. Which mechanism do you like? Couple Heroes 1 territory capture? Overall, I think Couple Heroes 2 is a little bit better. After all, it gives you a little bit area, so you can start eyeing place cover rather than just task the entire squad. I think Couple Heroes 2. I like Couple Heroes 2's system better. Rather than just capturing a certain point, it means capturing an area. And also mechanically, I think it just works a little bit better. So you can have a unit, because after all, it represents securing an area, which you don't have to be moving a flag for that. And it was just so also a unit can take, stand there, fight behind cover or on open ground, things of that sort. Sure, Panzer Corps is now being established. Needs 30 fuel for Panzer authorization, so he's not close to a Panzer IV. The US player is researching a major, and he's also going to be about 60 fuel away. Oh, just spent some fuel on something. Oops. Yeah, he spent 10 fuel on something. What it was, I'm not sure. All these horses are going to fall back now. I'm not sure what the US player spent 10 fuel on. I'm going crazy. So they're roughly equal on fuel towards their first medium tank. Of course, the OKW Panzer IV is more expensive. Ooh, got ripped apart by multiple sources of flak. Lieutenant taking some damage. Got a good number of G43s there, and since this is a bit blobby, but it's coming out of his own base sector, so it's a little bit more acceptable for a bit of a blob to charge on out. But now his units need to start spreading out, catching some sectors. This is pretty much a meta build for OKW. True, and to be fair, a large number of Pathfinders from US is not uncommon either. Oh, that one did not get fully reinforced the way. 50 cal. Hitting this Panzer Fusilier up here. The U-Wagen is still there, which can be salvaged, of course. Not by Panzer Fusiliers, though. Oh, picks up a pair of bazookas of the reaction squad. Very nice. Guys have AT gun and bazookas. The AT gun, of course, bazooka is not needed at the moment, but it's always nice to have. And it's always a good idea to have a handful of AT available. Particularly when medium tanks already come to play. The OKW player is 100 fuel, 140 for his Panzer authorization. It got an uber popular over the last couple years because Kaiser plays builds every game. I'm not sure who Kaiser plays is.
Morning orders, gang. Morning orders, men.
Paratroopers and lieutenant are now advancing. I mean, Panzer Fusiliers being a common unit's been around for quite some time. Major now rotating around. Bazookas do get a couple good shots there onto the tank traps, damaging them. 50 cal sitting on up. Pathfinder's up north. Oh, these horses are starting to fall back. Lieutenant and paratroopers behind the bush. Yeah, my mind's fried right now.
Cover your fields of fire. Our supply line just got cut off.
Pathfinder's kept with the mission sector.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Taking crossfire!
And there goes the Fusilier, forcing him back. Got a bit of a blob here.
A capture point is
Of course, OKW probably just have to rely on the Panzer IV. He has enough fuel. Of course, needs a... Oh, that's the US player. Panzer IV is on build queue. Shroom Pioneer inside the garrison. 2 windows on the side, but if he starts running around it, he'll have all 4 guys firing. But he's taking a lot of fire from multiple sources. Does fall back there. Throws a frag at the door. Very nice. We've got the Shroom Officer here falling back. Veteran C3, fresh. And does use a tactical assault there. Shroom Officer will fall back. I don't think he's going to get wiped on out. Pathfinder's rotating around, or Panzer Fusiliers. Need to focus on the paratroopers. Paratroopers taking quite a bit of damage there. the lieutenant does not have frag grenades. Of course, the paratroopers do have their cooked frag. And sort of fall back there, charging forward into the closer range damage wasn't great for the Panzer Fusiliers. Panzer IV now deployed on the field. Quite a bit damage on the Panzer Fusiliers. Bit of damage there. Of course, nothing in... Oh, there's the AT gun. Does get a good shot there in the Panzer IV. One pen. Backing off a little bit there. That may have been forced by the ground. There may be angle there. It's hard for me to tell. But it looks like he is forced by the ground. We do now have Jackson in the build queue. He has a lot of anti-infantry, so Jackson's probably pretty good to round out his composition for more anti-tank. And very reliable anti-tank.
Capture point.
Panzer IV pushes way forward. And one AT gun sitting on up. Does take a pen there. Up north, we do have Lieutenant pushing forward into range of the Panzer Fusilier. Paratroopers behind him. Jackson advancing down south, now heading up more northwards. Pathfinder's engaging that paratrooper squad, forcing back. Possible squad right there. The counter for connects on Jackson. And the Panzer IV wipes out the paratrooper. Very nice pick there. Panzer IV out of targets in front of him at the moment. And when it comes set up here. Another squad of paratroopers not being put on the field. I don't think it really needs it. He appears to have good enough anti-infantry. Looks like the Panzerfusers do get suppressed there. We do have counterattack or breakthrough tactics now activated. Rolls a miss on the rear squad. Bazookas. Rolls a miss and looks like a pen there.
Airdrop runs now available. Contact infantry! Suppress them sons of...
Sturm Pioneer has, of course, counterattack tactics activated. Does put away the Minesweeper. And Lieutenant is getting some good damage and receiving a good amount of damage as well. Stormtroopers need to, or Sturm Pioneers need to start falling back. There's a good number of Pathfinders on this retreat path. Guess that's the path they found, the retreat path. 50 cal sitting on up, which will start getting some bursts on that Sturm Pioneer as well. Good hit there by the Panzer IV. Sturm Pioneers do fall back. He needs to keep that alive. That's the only source of repair. It's also efficiency 2. Airman efficiency 2, efficiency 3 for Sturm Pioneers for improved repair rate. Usually for regular Pioneers and other things of sort, it's efficiency 2. They get direct hit there on the 50 cal, knocks out the 50 cal.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
We got a Scott on the build queue. I prefer Sherman tanks. Yeah, I love seeing. I sort of like seeing any blob fall apart. Usually via by Brumbar. So Panzer Warfare's Katyushas and other high explosives is a pretty good good way to deal with blobs, in my opinion. We do have now bar finders being salvaged. The 50 cal has been obtained by some Panzer Fusiliers. Getting some good suppression down.
Supply line just got cut off. M8A1 is on the field.
Ooh, Scott! There's a Scott! There's a Scott now deployed on the field. Oh, and smoking out the 50 cal's last known location. Very nice. Lieutenant does have his Specialty 3 sprint active. US player has nowhere near enough munitions for his loiter. Right now the OKW player has a good amount of munitions stored on up, so he can eventually start bringing in some assault artillery. Smoke barrage raining on in. Displaces a Sturm Pioneer from the garrison. The garrison they probably really should be in to begin with. Does get a Panzer Truck upgrade in the Sturm Pioneer, so that's not going to be super useful. Jackson rolls a miss. We have the tactical assault now activated for the paratroopers, and the Sturm Pioneers get ripped apart. Does drop a Panzer Truck. I suppose if he builds another Sturm Pioneer upgraded with Panzer Truck, then he can have double equipped Panzer Truck. I don't really have any real value in single bazookas or single Panzer Trucks. And I also really hate hybrid riflemen where they have one bar, one bazooka. Good, but kind of overhit there on the Scott.
We're losing a capture point.
Things do need a bit of repairs. He does have a reaction squad still alive to help out with that. Going for a barrage on this guy here. Get some good hits.
Send your mission.
Hands Visitors do fall back. Up north, they do have another reaction squads in Major falling on back. Pathfinder's now advancing.
300. Rocket grenade! Crowd's got a rocket position!
Heard something. We do now have... Oh! Ooh! Oh, one-shotted. Oh! As much as I don't like seeing mass Pathfinder like that, that was just brutal. I was not prepared for that. Nor, I think, the US nor the OKW player. You have a bit of smoke being someone in. It is a paratrooper. Frontline paratroopers. Paradropping on in. I wonder if the lieutenant's going to pick up that bazooka. Yet having sprint pick up a bazooka, then pick up a bazooka later on wouldn't be half bad. Tactical advance makes it a bit more vulnerable. Throws a frag grenade there. He's going to lose the paratrooper. The US players starting to just disintegrate. Good hits there. Panzer IV is one shot away from death. So is Jackson. Jackson gets thrown away. Paratroopers get thrown away. I think the US play may have went idle or AFK.
They got wiped out.
Yep. Looks like I can see the game's paused. Looks like the US player backed out of the game or maybe crashed or lost connection. Either way, I'm chalking that a win to the OKW player. This Angrade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay.